All right, we are going to start Chapter 4 or Unit 3A or Chapter 6. Ignore what's on the PowerPoint. That's just kind of Mrs. Burkett's numbering. We are on Chapter 4, and we are going to deal with chemical bonding. Now, what is chemical bonding? Well, the importance of this, guys, is the whole idea of we are now starting to focus on, if you imagine chemistry as cooking, and you need your ingredients, you need your equipment, then you need the recipe. We already have our equipment. We talked about lab equipment. Now we're going to start learning about our ingredients and how our ingredients kind of combine together. And once our ingredients combine together, then we can read a recipe card, which will be the next chapter, and we'll have everything that we need for chemistry. So when we talk about how things bond and how things react, it is focused on one number. And let's see if we can remember this number. How many electrons does each atom want in its outer shell? Answer, 8. We want 8 electrons in our outer shell. That is what we want. We want 8. Every atom wants 8. It is going to steal or borrow or share to get 8 electrons. If it doesn't have 8, it's not happy. So if we look at what elements and what atoms have that certain amount, that's what we're going to do. So noble gases. We focus on noble gases here. Noble gases have 8 electrons because their atoms or their whole shell is full. So each noble gas has 8 electrons. Everything else varies. And we show this using an electron dot diagram. And each dot represents an electron. Each dot represents an electron. And you can tell how each atom has, how many dots each atom has around it. So hydrogen, this whole group here is group 1 on the periodic table. Any coincidence? Group 1 has 1 dot. Next group, this group is group 2 on the periodic table. Then the transition metals, we skip the metals. All right. We skip the transition metals. Then what we do is we come over, and this is group 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, and lastly 8A. Oh, shoot, gotta go back. All right, 8A is what's left. Group 1 has 1 electron in its outer shell. Group 2 has 2 electrons in its outer shell. 3 has 3, 4 has 4, 5 has 5, all the way up to 8. 8 has 8 electrons in its outer shell. And this is going to depend how they react. And this is what we're going to focus on for Chapter 4. It's all about the electrons, baby. We want 8. And this chart shows you of the elements that we deal with, which ones they're going to deal with. So if you can add them up and they get 8 electrons total, it is a good fit. So that is the introduction to that's the introduction to Chapter 4, chemical bonding. This is Mr. Clutter, and I'm out.